Alright, so it looks like my friends up here are ready, so let's put your hands together for the Bitter Pill Collective. Poet and podcast host Pete Solomita and guitarist-composer Fred Argenziano are the foundation of the spoken word group Bitter Pill Collective. They blend the themes of the fragility of the human experience with music drawn from blues, country, and folk. They also co-produce the very Swell Variety bi-monthly show at Young Apples in Brooklyn. Both Fred and Pete have been active in the music scene for decades as drummers. This new collaboration among the two longtime friends has brought a spark to their creative output and has been very well received throughout Gotham. Guitarist Evan Hiltzinger adds color and verve on acoustic and electric guitars and bass, and occasionally guest musicians sit in. Is that the case today, Pete?
No. Well, maybe if a harmonica player wants to play with me.
Oh, where is Buddy Greco, right? Where is he at? Nope.
We have one song, Outstanding Young Man, that would be great with harmonica.
All right, guys, get ready for the Bitter Pill Collective.
Thank you, Shane. And thank you all. You've been a great audience.
All right.
For a minute? Okay, I'll sit for a minute.
What are you sitting down?
Take it away, Fred, when you get a chance.
I can figure out where this wire is.
Give it up for my co-producer, Fred Argenziano. If anybody here who's got any idea how to use that, if we're too loud or something, can you fix it? Anybody knows the way around a soundboard? This one's called Mountain Town. Life used to be easier, I tell you. Nowadays, it's just too damn cold. And the town is full of rich city folk who turn up their nose at a man in worn and tattered flannel. But damn it, I've been in this town since the 70s when people around here actually cared. You know, back then it was free and easy, and it seemed the mountains were a sight to behold. Sculptures and music and prose and furniture and big pots of chili to share and a cold pitcher of beer. It seems like everyone you ran into had something to say and a talent to display. I came here to get educated and I wound up dropping out, but you know, I decided to stick around. Somehow bills got paid with enough left for a party or two. But now it's a loaf of white bread and jam and yesterday's coffee pot in the fridge. Oh, and a butter too I grew last summer. It's not exactly the high life, but it beats being locked up, which I've experienced a day or two in my days. But now I'm too old to fight. But I'm not too old for opinions, that's for sure. But I just wish Claire had made it. I guess she was committed once too often and found solace stepping in front of a speeding train. I was pissed. I was hurt. I was angry. Maybe because she was the only one who made me laugh and would put up with my shit for more than a day or two. But deep down I understand. You know, it was nice once, but now it's just time passing and not much really more than that. Thank you. This is about somebody who wore out their welcome in life and wound up committed. after a battle royale. It was a long and a winding road, and not so easy to navigate. I had burned bridges of family and friends and workplaces too. I don't think I'm crazy. At least that's what I tell myself. But it's hard to think straight when you're constantly arguing with yourself. My wife gave up first. She said I was a hot mess of a mistake and she didn't have time to fix. So it was easier just to walk away. So there I was alone with the rent due. I didn't have the dough, so I slept on a couch or two until the welcome would wear out and the streets became my home. A bench in the park, a box under an overpass, a hotel doorway, an alleyway, or a train at night. We shared a bottle or two, we smoked weed with the gang until a turf war was ended by a slash of a face. So here I am, surrounded by white walls, fluorescent lights swinging, windows with bars. A cup filled with pills, followed by a swig of juice. Regimen dictated by a doctor and a nurse too. It's in your best interest, you'll see. You will soon be your old self, free as a bird, to do what you please. Just do what we say. Follow the rules and you'll soon be on your way. Maybe you'll be back in society. And quite civilized, too. This is a song about a teenager having to make a decision way beyond her years. It's called Carry That Weight. It's not the Beatles song. It wasn't easy, given love that comes from deep inside, in a way that's hard to put into words or truly understand, and her life just barely started. She was only 16. She wasn't yet a woman. Still lived as a child, but old enough to know that a mistake can do my life. She hid her secret from family and friends. It's just a phase I'm going through, she said. She left town to visit an old friend and came back carrying less weight, but a burden that would follow her throughout her life. Time passed like molasses poured from her jar. She'd see his face in reflections and photographs partially torn. Dreams never fulfilled, you're just floating through life. But you can't go back in time to right wrongs made when judgment was clouded by not really knowing who you are. And there's no one to turn to, because everyone around would just take sides. And the walls that are cracked and surround you could suffocate someone even much stronger. To cross the bear for someone who wasn't fully aware that spiritual guidance isn't born of soul, that a roadside stand on the outskirts of town. That strength is only found by getting knocked around until you can finally protect yourself from blows, both real and imagined. Thank you. I don't know if whoever sometimes social media, you get these things that are kind of weird. It's like, what the hell is this? There was actually, this is based on, something came up on my Facebook page. It was about a guy that dressed up like Jesus to get paid. It's called Model Jesus. He told her she should know that he wasn't the real Jesus. He just kind of resembled him in a new age sort of way. So he dresses like Jesus and poses for photographs down by the seaside with people for money that were hoping to be saved. It takes all ways for a hustle. You have to take advantage. Assets shouldn't be wasted, and there's no harm done anyway. But belief is a powerful thing. She smiled at him. He looked so benevolent in his long and flowing robes and his sandals of Italian leather. His words were just foreplay, and a man with a beard will make her go astray. Her knees were buckling and her hands were shaking in the presence of the Lord. She was losing her composure. A scandal waiting to happen. It was way too much for her to take. Still breathing heavy from being so close to God on that hot summer's day. Fantasy trumps reality anyway. So she genuflected. She clutched her rosaries. She made the sign of the cross. And she turned away from Model Jesus. And went home to get on her knees and pray. Thank you. It's called Outstanding Young Man. It's about the vagaries of war. Johnny played with plastic soldiers while his sister hugged her rag doll. He aimed his toy gun at the enemy in garbage-strewn lots, and he climbed hills with weight on his back. Johnny had a sweetheart who was his queen at the prom. What a handsome couple, everyone said. So young and full of promise. Johnny joined the ROTC while his roommates got stoned. He was patriotic to the core, just like his dad and his grandpa. Johnny went overseas where artillery blasts rattled his brain. And he fought the nightmares praying to find daylight in the company of his new bride. Take it away, Evan. So deep even from himself, he was hiding. Johnny woke up sweating and he got up quietly so not to disturb his wife. And he softly descended the basement stairs and he opened up the lock case to his service revolver, pulling the trigger with a smile. In the stillness in what was his childhood house, Johnny made the news the next day. such an outstanding young man. Thank you. This one's about domestic violence. It's called Pass the Torch. It's like a sad country song. I'm not my father's son. My reflection screams to me, reassuring not much of anything. The past, it can be an angry thing. Daddy worked in the shipyard, long hours of hauling other people's stuff. He'd go home bent over in pain, wishing that he was someone else. My mother fed him with dinner and love, but that didn't stop the beating of herself and her only son. There's some things you just never forget. They haunt you no matter what you do. So I stay away from love, knowing I haven't got enough to share. And I'm not gonna pass the torch of heartache and despair. Make it sound pretty, guys. Side. His dreams long been buried. My mother never knew what it was like to just freely live life. And she got really good at pretending that the sun always shined. And I had no one to turn to when I had questions about life. So I stay right where I am in this old decaying place where the table is set for one. Because loneliness is better than destroying the things you love. It's just not worth taking the chance that just maybe I'm just like my old fucking man. My old fucking man. Thank you. This is our last one. It's called Thoughts of Her. It's about unrequited love. Shakers, tambourine, if you guys feel like it. It's kind of like a samba. She had quiet beauty. I strummed a loud guitar and I nearly lost my mind when she sat in the bar. The chords were wrong, I was distracted and I messed up the song, but the band played on. My head swirled with thoughts of her and visions of a dance, the start of a new romance. Okay guys, make this swing. could meet. So I could sing words. I wrote a love poem to the woman with the soulful brown eyes. The final chords died out and she was gone, and I went searching in the dark of the night. But the streets were empty and she was just nowhere in sight. And my heart sunk 10 feet under. I guess it just wasn't my night.
Thank you, everybody. I love you, and you. My co-producer, music director of the Bitter Pill Collective, Fred Argenziano. Mr. Swell on guitar, Evan Hilsinger. Thank you all for coming. Give yourselves a hand because you're fucking awesome. Shane Lorenzen, Joe Irizarry, Dan Killian, Sarah Dutton, Michael Friedman, Austin Alexis, Misery Loves Company, Susan and Buddy, Will Win, Peter, I forgot you were so sorry, Peter Goloski, Amy Barone, Austin, Kathy, Evie, who else do I know? Rebecca, Girls on Fire! My wife Jill for doing everything that helps me look and sound better. Thank you all. Thank you, young Ethels. Tip on your way out. Take some glasses with